Hakima, not with your white supremacy ass. What's your problem today? But honestly, who in here is whiter than Hakima?
Wait, could you see the poll, Ann?
It looks like a middle finger. Fuck you to baby murder.
Hi, Connie.
Hello.
So, I mean, Roger, if you kind of interpret a different finding in that data, would it be fair to say that only 15%, well, 25% now, but the majority of the room is actually opposed to abortion?
Yeah, I would say the majority of the room is opposed to abortion.
Hey, can two things be true at the same time? Like, it's baby murder, which I agree is baby murder, but yet I voted it's still a woman's right to choose.
Four things can be true at the same time.
Well, I voted black genocide because I care.
But like John said, more white babies have been killed than black babies, so.
Well, over the percentage.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, what's the percentage?
But for when you look at square miles and the population, it's much higher for black people. And then when you look at like HIV, because I did a grant on it, it's high. The rate.
Yeah, the rate will definitely was higher than the entire rate of the whole continent of Africa.
Connie, I got a question for you. Do you support reparations for aborted black babies?
If they're aborted, they can't enjoy anything. They can't.
Who get the money? The mother?
That is, you know what? I ain't even going to ask that because that's really sad. Because I had the choice when I was getting ready to go in the Marine Corps. So,
well, Connie, I think it's a good question that I'm asking because you people don't seem to agree on who should get reparations. So I'm just asking if.
Yeah. Well, I've always been a lone wolf. I go out and make my own landmark laws. Yeah, I make my own landmark laws. Sure. You know, I got a letter from Senator Ted Kennedy when he was held in Congress or Senate, wherever he was at. And so I just Ted Kennedy. Okay. Yes, and he was telling me that they were going to have, they're going to revamp the healthcare system. So I'm not really worried about all these other people because a lot of them are waiting to see what their friends are going to say. When I want something, I go out there and make it happen. So, and people follow. You know, people follow. And then, you know, a lot of people want to be Indian chiefs, but that's a sad thing to say.
When you say Indian, are you picturing dots or feathers?
When I say Indian, I probably would picture feathers. I would probably picture feathers. Because I don't have a good, strong arm, especially after these last few accidents. I don't have a good, strong arm, so I don't even think about darts anymore.
Mojo, thinking of even wondering if Indian means dot or feather is purely a Northwestern thing. I grew up in Seattle, and that's a question often asked, but I live in Georgia, and nobody's once said that to me in 20 years.
It's the first time somebody asked me that, because, you know,
in the Northwest, everybody has dot or feather because they have minimal Eastern Indians and arguably more Native Americans than Eastern Indians. Well, hold on. If you go to Redmond, that's not true. If you go to Redmond, you're such a sarcastic son of a bitch.
But he's talking about because Microsoft employs a lot of engineers from me.
I guess Issaquah probably has quite a few Indians these days as well. Do they serve curry at the Christmas party?
No, but I can tell you the elevators don't smell very good after lunch.
You know, I got a question for Connie. Connie, I've heard on Clubhouse people complained that black babies were being fed to alligators, and I find it interesting that
here we go.
That we object to that, but as long as an abortion doctor is what's killing the baby, that's okay. But feeding them to alligators, that's bad.
Well, I think, you know, it's the woman's body and it's her decision, you know, how she wants to do it. I was reading up and I take it more sensitive. They feel like the alligator is against their will, and so it's not the timing, and so they feel like that's genocide. They feel like that's the only reason why some of them were exported over here. Those that are
So
not
what do you think
the
killed
land.
more? What do you think's killed more black babies in the Americas? Do you think it's abortion doctors or alligators?
Okay, so if you look,
car accidents, but none of that shit don't matter.
if you
Like,
look,
which one
if
kills the
you
most?
okay. If you have to look at the time span, every black person that can claim a recent leaving of the continent of Africa 400 years ago is not like me. And so that's an aspect of me. So let's take it back to the 1600s. Bam, there's an ancestor that came over here from one of the nation states in the continent of Africa. So if you look at
Hold on. In the 1600s, you believe there was nation states on the continent of Africa?
Of course, there's nation states. Everything came out of Africa.
No, but hold on. The concept of nation states didn't happen until after empires died at the end of World War I.
First of all, you had lines drawn arbitrarily through colonialism, you know, like that. So you had Nigeria that was, you know, created recently.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. Let me finish.
No, I got a question for you. I want to ask you a question. Do you think that nation states were in existence in?
I say it to let people know that there are geographical boundaries and borders, and not to get any particular culture, tongue, or specific area mixed up. And I've seen people from Africa get upset about that. So they want you to know that, you know, they're from Rwanda or maybe South Africa. So, yeah, so I just say that to let people know that there's borders there and, there's territories. But anyway, just going back to, let's go 400 years back. Unfortunately, from the research I've done, and I'm always looking and reading, abortion, from what I know of, has been the highest baby killer. If you go back 400 years to now with black women, the abortion has been the highest baby killer.
So in like an effort of restoring, autonomy to Black America, why then are Black women supporting it?
I don't know, but I believe that this is definitely what is causing friction with the man if he chooses to stay.
No, but it shouldn't be a matter of if the man chooses to stay or not. I mean, if you look at all the political, activism and, some of the statements that were made as far as, marching for George Floyd and the indignity behind, police violence and how it's going to, protect Black babies. But then if we look at the historical cause behind Black babies being killed in the Black womb, we see a certain practice that Black women, for some reason, that align with a certain type of democratic, a Democratic following and liberals,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, which our black community is full of. Okay, why are they
Planned
not?
Parenthood, the privilege is right in the neighborhood.
So why then aren't black women having a conversation, as opposed, instead of having conversations about hypergamy and all of the things that are, associated with getting the bag, why don't we say babies in the womb? You see what I'm saying? But the second black men go into those spaces and they say something, it turns into, vitriol. I mean, it's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
I don't care if I have a womb or not. It's unacceptable. Killing black children is unacceptable. Okay, so
well, I got something else for you that is unacceptable. There are, because I dated this guy and I was real patient with him. There are a lot of
Was he white?
Not this one. He was very dark skin, and that's
how dark was he?
Like your shoe dark, your black shoe dark,
like his beard.
Yeah, all of that. But look, check this out. I was patient with him. There is a great growing number of black women that hate black males. And so he said that the women that he dated, he would keep in close contact with the boys because the women, they had so much hate and fury for black males, they couldn't even turn it off with their own children, like that. And I also heard one lady at work, she retired. She said her mother chopped up a grandson and sent him down the toilet stool. And the
wait, she chopped up a baby and put it down the toilet?
Yes, that's the norm for the family because he was a black male baby. And she said the toddler cousins was like, let's say his name is Boo Boo. Where's Boo Boo? Grandma, we ain't seen Boo Boo. Yeah, there's a growing amount. I had to even stop my own child from going over to my sister's house when she was alive. She definitely had a chip on her shoulder for black males, So it's like if they don't know you or like you or you don't grab for those heartstrings, those that don't like black males can be evil. Yeah, it's a good amount of them. And if there's 30 million in this country, I probably wouldn't be surprised if it was 25 million that hated black males. Yeah,
and
it's a growing movement.
And Connie, when you talk about like Southern roots, and even in places in Middle America where black people existed, how many of these women were caregivers killing people? You see what I'm saying? How many of these women were in caregiving roles? Okay, nursing their sick husband.
I don't know, but
kicking
my
them into the grave. You see what I'm saying?
Reprobate mind. She had a reprobate mind, and after my grandfather died, she would talk to his ghosts, and they didn't get along very well either. Yeah, and then I know, but see, a lot. I'm gonna tell you one trigger was they weren't valued, so they were expected to leave home early at 14 or 16. That was, I'm sure that was a trigger right there.
Well, we do have a poll up.
Now I'm finding the results interesting.
People talk about the abortion debate a lot, and it's always about a woman's right to choose her women's health. But I don't think a good analysis or a perspective, shedding light on the perspective of the doctor's operations, the facilities, the nurses, the funding, the insurance payments, the profiteering, the conferences, the industry
and
itself.
And the welfare that they receive preferential treatment from the government. Welfare. They get just a lot of bankroll, just like, Amtrak or American Airlines. But I said it, I was on my way to the Marine Corps and they sat me down and said, don't rush, because if you were a dude, that you can have 8 years at the Naval Academy. And so then I started listening like, okay, this person's on my side. And they showed me abortion pictures. And, they just go in there and poke something. And then the baby just starts fighting with his arms. And then they,
chop up stuff and then suck it, like that. And, they have to be very careful because it go wrong. And then they got to bring what's left of it out of the womb. And it's just, in so much pain, and then finish stabbing and chopping it up. But once I saw that picture, I was like, I'm not going in the Marine Corps. I'm staying home with my baby. It's terrible. But had they not shown it to me, I would have ran the risk of damaging something and never being able to have kids.
Can I ask why Frank, Kristen, and Anne have not answered the survey question?
Did you know that these surveys actually go back onto your profile and you can't delete them?
Well, you can't delete them yet, but they'll get around to delete them. There's plenty of things that I've had on my profile that have been deleted over time.
I want to delete all these back end messages.
Yes, me too.
Ooh. What you got up in your backside?
Nothing, but I just want to delete them.
You may need those for a rainy day.
You're telling me about binary stuff, and it ain't regulated, and I don't know you. You have to come with a referral from a referral. No. It's a lot I want to delete, and you can't delete. And they don't keep a good record count of replays. They don't keep a good record account of replays either. You save stuff, and I go and put it on Thread, and it embarrasses the hell out of me because it's not even there anymore.
Did you guys notice the new update right now? It's like an actual hallway where you can, when you're scrolling up in rooms, you can listen in without actually going in.
I couldn't do it yesterday, though. I couldn't do it yesterday.
I tried.
Or was it this morning?
No, it just, I noticed it happen in the evening, like a couple hours ago.
You have to be out of a room, though, right?
Yeah, you have to be out of a room, and then, and then you can just, it's crazy. So I'm wondering if you're booted from the room, you won't be able to see it. But if it's a room where you know you're going to get booted, you can just stay in the hallway and listen in.
So you could be the bad kid in timeout, but you still hear it.
That's how they get it.
And it's kind of like still being anonymous. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I wonder on the abortion topic if...
but you actually get sucked into the room, I think, after a minute. Like, if you listen to it for a minute, then you get sucked into the room. So I hear it.
I didn't see that. I didn't know.
No, it
months ago.
It actually shows you, like, if somebody comes, if somebody listens from the hall, I could see that they've entered the room.
Oh, so only the mods can.
I just updated. Much better. Much better. Hey, who was Hakeem on the go?
Not it.
He must have moved himself.
I'd have done that.
Oh, you know what I think happened? I think Hakima left the room. He went anonymous, and then in another room, and then came back.
No, I updated my app and just seen that new feature.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I just updated it too. It's much better now. I was wondering what's going on this morning.
So I wonder with abortion, I have a question, and I don't want to be selfish. Do people believe a man's got no say?
A lot of women do. That's why they be having problems in their relationship. He be mad about that shit. But I believe he has say. I think I would act like I don't because I would be looking at the money that I possibly will or won't get.
That was my follow-up about the money.
So
the women that don't have to...
But I remember I told you I had that video they showed me and then talk about how they take their time with men in the Naval Academy up like 8 years or more. And so I would not do abortion. I would not do it at all. I would not. But thanks to that video.
That's one of my primary hang-ups about the abortion laws is I feel like they're very misandrous in that the financial viability, the decision to have, to not to have, falls solely with the woman, and the man doesn't have any say. Like, I feel like at least if you were going to make abortion legal, then he should have the opportunity to opt out and not be financially responsible if she has the opportunity to opt out. And
I think he should be able to say something after 6 months too. I really think he should. I think he should. But I think everything worked out.
What do you think he should say after 6 months?
I think he should have the
No, because I'm kind of concerned right now.
Stop it. I mean, no, we're not doing this.
She can't opt out after she gives birth.
No.
No, someone would be trying to abort at 6 months. And that's the month that I start talking because I think I can carry it to term. But I would just be 30 years coming out of the Marine Corps. But I would have been a doorknob because I was a little knucklehead. I probably still would have ended up pregnant again, like that. But I think a man should have some say-so all the way. I understand it's not his body, but especially...
Legally, he doesn't right now. Yeah.
Yes, so he should have some type of legal to it.
I think there needs to be, no, do they have, and forgive me if I'm out of date here, but do they have paternity tests at the birth?
Yeah, but see, they're risky.
Oh.
They're risky.
Okay.
And they will let you do it if you're like my last child, I had him at 38. So they will let you do it for like Down syndrome. But, I just never liked needles. I've always been a terrible patient. They'll say, come back for your follow-up. Read for cholesterol.
Hold on. I got a PSA. Did you know that if you have sex standing up, you are slightly less likely to get pregnant?
You're so stupid.
I'm standing up.
Another reason for the wall.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Is that why you're always on your head, Mocha?
It says that fewer sperm will remain pooled near the cervix, which, in theory, lowers the odds. Anne, have you not updated the phone, or why aren't you doing the survey?
No, she's being ridiculous. She thinks that if she refuses to agree to the terms and conditions of service, then she can sue Clubhouse for misusing her information. And I keep telling her every time she exits out of that box, she is still consenting because she's using the freaking app. She might as well enjoy the perk.
Yeah, using the app is consent.
Yeah, have you guys has anybody ever been to Chick-fil-A?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you actually looked at the sign at the drive-thru window? What it says?
What does it say?
What does
It says, by you being in this line and ordering from Chick-fil-A, you automatically give consent to be in one of their promotion advertising videos and being recorded.
Oh, that happens when you go to Monday Night Raw, too.
Wow.
I don't mind that much because I got like 14 million views on Google Maps, and I got like 500,000 when we went to North Carolina, and that happened in about a week and a half. I was like, that's almost a whole state. I was like, and I was on good behavior because I was like, who was paying me any attention? But I would go for that. I would go for that because I'm always rating places that I go to.
Yeah, hold on. I want to talk to Anne real quick. Hold on. Anne, let's have a dialogue. So you believe that you're going to someday sue Clubhouse? Anne Hero? She must have stepped away.
She should. All of these apps take your stuff and don't, give you any.
She's not going to be able to sue. Sorry. I mean, you can try.
Do you work for Clubhouse, Mojo? You sound like you're like an undercover agent for Clubhouse.
Is that what you think?
It's just common sense that you're using the app, though, that you are implicitly agreeing to the terms and conditions of service, whether you want to click the button or not.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't.
Hold on. I don't think I would make a good Clubhouse employee. I've twice I've led revolts once to Fanbase, once to Chatter. I've had an account completely deleted, and I've had this one suspended just very recently. I just don't think I would make a very good ambassador. I'm not a great brand ambassador for Clubhouse.
Yeah, so you're loyal to yourself. And that makes plenty of sense. So they said Chatter was created by Nelson and Pena.
They don't just say that; they know that.
Wow. So he was with that. I forget what that guy was that he used to come on the line with. So he just really has been building himself up and growing, progressing like wildfire. That's good to hear.
Would you say that with Isaac Hayes building Fanbase and Nelson Apega building Chatter, would you say that those are slave revolts?
I would say that I stopped following people to like Fanbase and some other places because the people that you follow, they don't open up any rooms and you're trying to figure out the gadgets and stuff like that.
Why did you go to Fanbase in the first place?
Following somebody from Clubhouse.
Who'd you follow?
I think it was Freddie or something.
Freddie Roosevelt?
Yeah, and his brother, Jimmy White. Yeah. Just trying to be supportive. If you're connected with somebody or you come in their room, they give you a mic. I try to be fair and supportive for, every room that I go into. And I just stopped doing that. When people tell me about a new app, I'm like, I barely can keep up my pages, where I'm at.
Is Ann back? Is Ann with us?
Ann! No, I think she's still gone.
I'm going to text her. Kristen, you need to come off mute and go down that rabbit hole again.
I think I'm going to remove Frank from the stage for not doing anything.
I mean, is what he's doing in the chat is considered spamming?
Pretty much. Frank, are you with us? Frank, are you with us?
I mean, his story's on repeat.
Frank, I want you to speak. Can you unmute yourself? All right, I'm going to count from 3 backwards.
Uh-oh, he's counting.
3, 2,
George Michael.
1. All right, Frank. All right, no more Frank. This is why you do this to chillism.
And now he's calling you a bastard?
Well, he wouldn't do that. That would get him removed from the room.
Oh, he just did it.
Well, he said it kind of.
I don't even know what he's saying. He said Mojo is doing this fast food.
He didn't quite say it, but
Maybe didn't quite get there.
yeah.
You know what? I'm going to bring him back up just so he can clarify what he meant. Let's see. We'll give him a second
That
chance.
could be indicative of the fact that he doesn't speak English.
No. He speaks perfect English. We've had him do full concerts. He can sing all of those Michael songs. Yeah.
Okay.
I will be your preacher, teacher, give you anything. Can you sing?
Frank, can you do a George Michael tune for us?
Can you do the Father whatever one?
Frank, this is not going to go well for you. It's your last chance. Do George Michael and you can stay.
Should you give him a cookie? Extra iPod hours?
Okay, Frank. You asked for it. Back to the do you go.
Bum, bum, bum.
I want to take the moment, since we're not talking much here, to give Connie some flowers. I had a conversation with my son. I live in Atlanta. My son goes to a very, very mixed school, about 50-50 black-white. And ever since my son was a little tiny kid, an infant, in fact, he loved black women. If a black woman in public approached him when he was an infant in the stroller, he just lit up like the sunshine. Like he just, there was no question that he preferred black women. And as we get older, it hasn't changed. And he's 18 now. He just graduated high school. And we went to the most mixed school in Atlanta that's among the good suburbs. Most of them are the high performing suburbs are almost always overwhelmingly white on purpose in order to try to maintain those standards. But I put him in a school called Sprayberry, which is a top 10 school in the state, but it's by far the most diverse school, and we did it on purpose. And he has dated one black woman in high school that was a pretty cool person. But ultimately, he had a conversation with me recently, and I'm getting somewhere with this. And he said that, Dad, it kind of sucks because my experience in high school of wanting to date black women is that he's a very quiet, soft-spoken, kind person, very, very, very easygoing, extremely easygoing. And he's intimidated and overwhelmed by black women. He told me that, the ones I find attractive are overbearing and reactive and loud, and he said obnoxious. And it frustrates me because I want somebody that's calmer. I want somebody that, that looks the way I want her to look, but I also want that calm energy. And he had a conversation with me about this, and it was very recent. And I said, you'll find her, just keep looking. And I'm sitting in this room and I'm listening to Connie, and she's like smart and kind and soft-spoken and non-reactive and so engaging and so just easy to listen to. That first of all, if you're 25 years younger, I'd totally want to hook up with my son. He's very good looking dude. But I'm also a former Marine, so you keep talking about the Marine Corps, and I'm not sure you ever made it in there, but I still respect the fact that you obviously appreciate the Marine Corps. But I wanted to say that you are the absolute best example of a black woman that I would want my son to find, personality-wise and intelligence-wise, and just overall demeanor-wise. And I know you give me hope that there's somebody out there for him that will meet his expectations of an energy level, along with beautiful. You're obviously beautiful. And then, I don't know, it's just refreshing to have you here. I followed you. I want to see where you kind of hang out. I hang out on a lot of mixed spaces in here, and I hang out on a lot of primary black spaces in here. And I don't talk much because I end up getting kicked off the stage just because I'm white when I start talking sometimes, and that sucks because I like to find the more reasonable room to hang out
They're
in.
very closed-minded when they
It's
do
tough.
that.
It's tough.
Yeah, they kick anybody. I have people, I gave them a little snippet because they want you to prove stuff. You know, like one guy told me Clandana was black, and he said, if I get some proof, I'm like, dude, nobody's proving shit to you. One guy said, they're not your people because they're not doing anything for you unless you want to prove it. I'm like, nobody cares what what you think. And then, so I gave them a little snippet and I showed them a little genealogy tree. And so, but they were so freaking ignorant because they didn't. I said Lenape, people who sold New York City. And I said Mexico. And they were like freaking out. No way, there's no such thing. And I'm sitting here like, that is one of the most original groups. But what they do is if you talk about something with receipts, oh yeah, I'm related to that person too. But you're doing what my mother hated about her West Indian side. You're not being fair because you're sitting back and you're giving people the green bean, and you're censoring others when they talk. And then you're saying, well, okay, well, you might be Native American but we're Indian or like that. And they try to discredit you. And I'm like, these are signs of a pretender. But right now I do have a white boyfriend.
It doesn't surprise me because for the white guys that like black girls, most of the black women nowadays, it's a tough personality. You know what I mean? It's a tough personality. There's a lot of energy there, and I've been sitting in some rooms recently, actually, very recently.
And you have to watch. You do have to watch their white privilege because it's like riding on an airplane. Now my job is riding on an alligator. But
it is. I love that.
Through the world, it
is. And trying to
on the airplane.
And trying to support my son and remind him that not everybody's the same, right? Like you're going to find somebody that has a combination of what you're looking for, and you don't need to compromise and date a white girl. You don't have to do that. Don't bother. You know what I mean? I know it's not in you.
You really don't. You have to because my mom. She never had political conversation. She never told us we was better than anybody. She said everybody's created, before God, in the image of God, and she always said, go after your heart. But she did say, now, if you're going to deal with your dad's side, maybe that would be better for you to date, a white guy. But she did say that. And then, I had really nice hair, and she would just straighten it even more. And I felt so bad for her because I was like, she's in a world and she's just trying to be quiet and fit in. I was like, how you can't get it any straighter? And I felt so sad for her.
There's a guy in here named Sig. He's a military guy, really, really good human being, great father, really smart guy. And
but does he hate black women?
What's that? What's that?
No, he hates ghetto black women.
He hates ghetto black women, and he comes on. He hosts rooms where he talks about I want my black women to step up. I love black women, but I love the good black women, and there's too many obnoxious black women. So he's been hosting a lot of rooms lately on this topic, basically. And I've been sitting through these rooms, and 99% of the time, black women come on and they lose their shit on him, and he's like, "You're just proving my point. You're just proving my point," And instead of you'd be a perfect person if you can stumble into one of those rooms and just be yourself, and he's gonna fall in love with you, and he's gonna give you all the props you deserve because the reality is you're exactly what he's talking about is out there, and he just encourages people He thinks it's easier to find a good woman if she's white. He's married to a white woman, but he's not anti-black woman. He's not. He's
the Officer Tatum of Clubhouse.
Yeah, and he's a good guy. But you would be an awesome. I mean, he would probably mod you, but you'd be an awesome person because you're not grandiose. You don't showcase. You're honest and authentic, and and he is too. And I don't know, it just, the whole thing, there's just a lot of overlap. It's just really refreshing to listen to you talk, because I've been having all of these influences of that thought in my head between my son and Sig's rooms and this and that lately. And I'm like, oh, here's proof that, that's wrong. Like there's awesome examples out there. So anyway, that's your flowers. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate you.
And you're welcome. You're welcome. I met you. You know how to finesse people. You're a good moderator, because you have me talking about things that I usually don't talk about. I don't say it, but I've always been frank. So I think, like, if a person asks, I'll answer, but I do ad lib a little more with you.
Can I have 2 franks in here? Remember, Mojo's been trolling you a little bit in a fun way, though, not a mean way. And you are unbreakable, and he's been commenting in the chat a little bit. It's just funny, because that adds more credence to your incredible authenticity. But I think it's funny that you can break Mojo's efforts to be a sarcastic asshole, and you can totally break him.
Are you single, Mike?
I've been married 27 years.
Okay, never mind. I just thought it would be really cute if maybe you and Connie just, exchange numbers.
Oh, dude, I would totally if I was single. But I didn't want to go there. I don't want to be creepy. I'd rather hook her up with my son, but he's too young.
All of that's creepy, but yeah, but it's been really sweet.
Thank you, because I'm trying to be honest without being creepy, because I don't want to sound creepy. But, well, thank you. It's like walking a tightrope. It's like walking a tightrope, so thank you.
I think it's really sweet that you give so much consideration to what you want for him to find for himself. Like, I just
absolutely. I mean, my wife and I have known it since day one. We giggled and joked about it for a little bit. I wonder if, you know what I mean? And then here he is, and yes, we were right. It's not an if, it's a definite. We couldn't be happier for.
So how did you know? Well, hold on. So how did you know? Like, was he drinking like purple Kool-Aid when he was a kid?
You're such an ass. Listen, imagine he's in a stroller and white women, everybody comes up, because my wife's Asian. I have twins, boy, girl. And so we'd have them in a double stroller. So we got a lot of attention, right? White, tall, 6'3" white guy with a little short, beautiful Asian woman, and then these mixed twins. So we got a lot of attention. Whenever white people would come up, he'd look at them like, who the hell are you? Like, you know what I mean? He was a guy that was like a little standoff. My daughter's like, hey, like human being, just woo. My son was like, I don't know about this one, right? But then a black woman would come up, because we're in Atlanta, and it happened quite a bit as well. He'd be like, oh my God, look at them. And he would just light up. I mean, practically like stick his arms out and want to just give her a big hug every time. This was when he was like an infant. And it went up to like the age of 3, age of 5, always, same thing. Same thing. We just knew it. It was crazy. And then the first girl he dated in high school was black. And it's like, oh, there you go. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Like, it's just funny. It's funny how, like, we didn't put that in him. He just, like, it's in him. Like, God put it in him. And I just think it's cute. And I support it. And thankfully he's not gay. Because that I would have struggled with more, to be honest with you. This I don't struggle with.
But is it me, or has everyone noticed that little white baby boys are just adorable and attracted to whatever floats their boat? Because whenever I go past a little white baby boy, he sparks up, like that. And I said to myself,
does he? That's cute.
Yeah, and I said to myself, well, and he's innocent now. I said, but wait till the world poisons him. We'll see if he can stand the test.
Well, yeah, and that's a good point. And to be honest with you, nobody in this house has ever poisoned my son, and I've gone on my way actually to make sure he was in mixed environments as much as possible. And to be honest, what he feels about when he was talking about black women, it's just factual. Like it's just, he's just overwhelmed by it, and it's a real thing. And I want to tell him like, oh, what you're saying is crazy. That's not true. All people are, equal. Like the reality is that I mean, I don't even know how to phrase it. There is that stereotypical vision of a black woman being loud and obnoxious, but his experience in high school is that it was pretty incredible, pretty consistent. I mean, it's pretty obnoxious for him. And even his girlfriend, she's sweet and all, but she was overly dramatic, and when she hung out with her black friends, she came back acting a slightly different person than when she hung out with my son for long periods of time without joining her black friends on the side. It would change. It would like code switch, even with her. And I think he just wants a genuine.
Can you give me an example? Like, give me a quote.
I'll give you an example.
No, I'm asking Mike. I'm asking Mike, Connie.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Mojo?
You said that the code switcher. Give me an example. Do the impersonation of the code switch.
No, it's not a code switch like that necessarily.
Oh, he said cosplay. You'll want to hear this.
Around you,
it's kind of like,
"Hi, Mr. Mike, how are you?" And then
it's kind of like. So I'll give you one example. So we got a new dog. Our dog passed away. We got a new one, and they're golden doodles. Both of them were. The other one was more golden retriever, less poodle. This one is like way more poodle, less golden retriever. So this one has really curly hair. It's soft and really curly. And so my son at one point was like was petting the dog and was like, "Oh my God, this one's crazy. Our new dog has hair like you." And she laughed about it around us. But then she went back and she told that story to her friends in high school, her black friends. And they convinced her that that was completely inappropriate and that he's racist for saying it. And then she came back and started being an asshole about what he said. And he's like, "I didn't mean it like that. I mean, I love you. I care about you. Like, they were together over